Alright, so I stumbled across these wild woodworking hacks from over 100 years ago, buried in some seriously old manuals and dusty books. Some of them look like pure wizardry, while others seem like a disaster just waiting to happen. But you know what? Curiosity got the best of me. I had to find out if any of these tricks actually work in real life, or if they're just old myths. First up, I kicked things off with the matchstick glue test, which sounded almost too simple to be true. According to the old manual, you dip a matchstick in your wood glue, light it up, and watch how it burns. Supposedly, it tells you if your glue is still good. If the glue bubbles up too fast, that means your glue's gone bad, and it's time to toss it. But if it burns slow and steady, you're in the clear and your glue is still good to use. I gave it a shot, and no kidding, the way the matchstick burned totally matched the glue's strength. It was surprisingly accurate. Honestly, it was way cooler than it had any right to be. Sometimes the simplest tricks are the most satisfying. Next up, I tried clamping boards together using just rope and a wet rag. No fancy clamps, no high-tech gear, just old-school resourcefulness. The trick is to wrap the rope tightly around your boards, then wet a cloth and lay it over the rope. As the cloth dries, it shrinks and cranks up the tension, holding everything together. I wrapped, soaked, and waited. To my surprise, it actually held the boards tight enough for glue-ups and small repairs. It's not as bulletproof as a real clamp, but if you're in a pinch or working on a budget, this hack is pure magic. I can see why it stuck around for so long. Then I came across this sharpening trick. Forget sharpening stones for a second. The old-timers used newspaper and a leather belt to hone their blades. I honed my plain blade on a stack of newspaper, then stropped it on a leather belt, just like they described. When I tried slicing some end grain, it actually worked. The blade wasn't razor sharp, but it was definitely sharp enough to be useful for most jobs. Not bad for a couple of household items. Sometimes, you have to admit, the old-timers just knew what was up. Their creativity was off the charts. The craziest one I found? Fire-hardening softwood. It sounds wild, but it's a real technique. I torched the wood lightly, scraped off the charred surface, and then gave it a good hardness test. The result? It actually felt noticeably tougher and more durable. It's not quite as tough as real hardwood, but it's a definite upgrade. I honestly didn't see that coming. And then there's the dovetail hack. No fancy tools, just a pencil and a scrap of wood to mark your angles. I eyeballed the angles, cut the joints by hand, and, honestly, it came out way cleaner than I expected. That's old-school ingenuity at its best. Last but not least, I tried that classic vinegar and steel wool finish. It's like a science experiment for your wood projects. The color shift was almost instant. Watching the wood transform right before my eyes was seriously cool. The final look? Absolutely gorgeous, with a rich, aged patina. Some of these tricks are straight-up legendary and deserve a spot in every woodworker's toolkit. Others, well, maybe they're best left in the past. But a few of these old-school hacks absolutely deserve a comeback, especially for anyone who loves a good DIY challenge. Think I should go even older or try some even wilder tricks? Drop your wildest suggestions in the comments below. I'm always up for testing more forgotten woodworking magic.